So you're the type of person who keeps procrastinating. You're not able to get the stuff that you know you need to be getting done. Like, why can't you do it? And for whatever reason, you just make up the most crazy excuses and you just don't get yourself to take that action. So today, we're going to be talking about what it is we can start to do for ourselves to be able to just do the things that we know we can and we should be doing. And this is honestly something that comes up so much with the clients that I work with because they want to be able to do certain things. They know they're supposed to be eating their broccoli, or they know they should be working out, or they know they should be following up with clients in terms of their sales. But for some reason, they just can't get themselves to do it. And what we need to start to understand is, hey, you know what? What is it that I can do? How is it can I get myself into the position to allow myself to be able to start to do the things that I know I want to be doing? And the first thing we want to start to really focus on is really getting clear with what it is we want to be doing. And I know it sounds crazy, but I was recently speaking to somebody and they told me that they want to become a morning person. They want to be able to feel so productive throughout their day and really start their mornings off right. But then he started to tell me that he doesn't really know what he would do during the mornings. And I said, yeah, that's the reason why you're not getting up early, because you want to be able to do something for yourself. You want to be able to take advantage of a certain time in your life, but you can't because you just don't know how you're going to fill it. So why would you? Of course, you'd rather sleep in. And what we have to start to figure out and ask ourselves is, well, what is it we're going to be doing? How is it we can start to get and take advantage of the work that we want to be doing? Because once we have this ability to be able to do that, to be able to say to ourselves, hey, you know what? I can do this. I want to be doing this. These are the things that I need to be doing in my life. You know, it'd be really cool if I could learn how to do that. Then all of a sudden we have this ability to be able to do things and not push things off. Because for so many of us, we just get so distracted because we're just not clear on what it is we want. We want to be making more money. We want to be able to lose weight. But let's get clear. What does that mean you want to lose weight? How much weight do you want to lose? When do you want to lose it by? You want to be making money. How do you want to be making money? How much money do you want to be making? Why do you want to be making that money? And once we start to ask ourselves these questions, then we get more clear and we get so much more directional in terms of the goals that we want. So ask yourself, what are you procrastinating about? What is it that we want to be doing? Because by doing that and by understanding and seeing the procrastination really on the outside, then we have the ability to be able to move forward and to take the action on the inside. And that takes me to my second point, where many times when people start procrastinating, they get too emotional about the thing that they're procrastinating about. And what's interesting is the more you procrastinate, the more this emotional monster ends up building up. And what we need to start to do is we need to understand that that emotion has to stay on the side. We can't allow the emotion to control us. And you have certain people like a Tony Robbins who really works on himself all the time to be able to say, I control my mind, not my mind controls me. What he ends up doing is he ends up doing the things that he knows might be uncomfortable, might be extremely scary, but guess what? He's doing it anyway because he knows it's the best thing for him and the success that he wants. And he's a pretty successful guy, so it seems like it works pretty good also. So what we have to try to do is try to say, hey, you know what? All this emotion that's coming into our minds, let's push it away. Let's not let it control us, but we control it. And by doing that, then we can start to say, hey, you know what? There's a lot of other things that are going on here. What is it that I can start to do to be able to make these things happen? The next thing we need to try to figure out is what actually triggers our procrastination. For so many of us, we are procrastinating, but the thing is that something's usually triggering you. We might be scared of something. There might be a certain person that is enabling us to be procrastinating. And what we have to try to figure out is like, what's going on here? And when I speak to my clients, I always ask them, like, why do they think they're procrastinating? Because on the one hand, they just say, I just don't want to get it done. And on the surface level, that's what they've been telling everybody and they've been telling themselves their whole lives. But what we have to try to realize is that there's something internal. There's something that we can start to do on the inside and try to figure out about ourselves to be able to start to say, hey, you know what? There's something else going on here. Why is it that I'm doing it? And a lot of times it comes down to fear. It comes down to something we are scared of. And because we're scared, we don't want to be able to take the action. So therefore, we just distract ourselves. And because we get so scared, that is why we're not doing the thing. And rightfully so. Why would you want to do something that's scary? But what we have to try to work on is say, hey, you know what? Regardless of this thing being scary, once I take the action, I'm going to feel so much better about myself. I know this is the right thing. This is going to be the thing that's going to be able to help me to move forward. And we all know that logically, but what we have to try to figure out is how we can start to take the action regardless of that. And a great way to try to figure out what is really triggering us, ask yourself why you're not doing the thing. And don't just answer with a superficial answer, because when you do, ask yourself again, why that? And then why that? And really keep digging until you get to something honest. And most of the time, that thing that you don't want to say, that you might think is true, is the thing that's usually going to be the thing that's going to be the reason why it is that you're going to be procrastinating. What we need to try to figure out is like, what is it we can start to do to be able to make sure that we can start to take action on the thing that we want to be taking. And for so many of us, we get so scared, but it doesn't have to be scary because we all know that time when we rip off the Band-Aid, it's going to be so much better on the other end of it. So practically, what are we supposed to do? So the first thing we need to do is we need to start to map out what it is we want, get that clarity in terms of the direction that we want to be going. And once we have that clarity, then we can start to figure out what are the steps that are necessary in order to get to it. So if it's something like I want to be able to play guitar, so what are the things I need? I need a guitar. I need to be able to learn different chords. Can I maybe have somebody teach me? What is it that's going to be happening? And by doing that, then we have this ability to be able to start to move forward in the thing that we know we want to be doing. But if we don't have that clarity, if we don't have a breakdown in terms of what I need to be doing, you're just going to be procrastinating. Because for so many people, one of the biggest causes for them to procrastinate is that they just don't know what it is that they're supposed to be doing. And this was when I saw this happen to me personally when I started to learn Facebook ads. You see, when I started to learn the ads game, I got so in my head that every time something didn't work, I ended up just picking up my phone, going on ESPN or YouTube, and just really distracting myself. And after a few times, I caught myself. I was like, why do I keep doing this? Every time this thing doesn't work, I end up just picking up my phone and going somewhere else. And but what we have to realize is that it's because it's the unknown. It's scary. And because we don't know, we end up just distracting ourselves because not being in that fearful position is a lot easier than me being scared. And what we have to try to figure out is, no, that discomfort is actually me growing. This is something that's not a bad thing. It's me saying, hey, how can I get this to the next level? Because once we have that, then we have the ability to start to become somebody in the moment to do and take from that position. And brings me to my last point of trying to get somebody to help hold you accountable. This could be a teacher, a mentor, a coach, whoever it might be, but that person could help you move forward. And you might say to yourself, well, I don't really need a coach. Well, ask yourself, how's it gone so far? Have you been able to do the things that you want to be doing? How long have you been wanting to do it? And for us, if we can start to say to ourselves, hey, you know what? It's time to get that support. Is it worth it? Most of the time, people are going to say yes. They might not feel good that they have to spend money on it, but guess what? You probably feel better that you did the thing that you wanted to do as opposed to always living that what if life. And if we can start to see that, then that could be something that could be really, really powerful. And if you're the type of person who gets very excited and then you fall and you get into this slump, make sure to take a look at this next video to teach you how it is that you can get out of those slumps to make sure that you can start taking the action to see that success.